Hello and welcome to Fight Club. It is the fifth and final Showdown Grand Season Finale 5-color extravaganza. Hit 'em up, Hammer. I'm Mojo. What is happening this week on Fight Club?
Oh my goodness.
Out here.
Dude, it's all good. I'm right there with you, man. I'm so excited. I'm Hambox42, by the way. Go by the hammer around these parts. And we are going to have a blast today. I know, right? Check it out. So right now, we are going to be jumping into a 5-color showdown. If you have not been watching Fight Club, I highly recommend you head on over to the YouTubes and check out what we've been doing so far, because this has been a fantastic season. We have found 5 streamers from across the Twitchiverse to come together and battle with magical cardboard in a digital arena, and we're having a great time. The way that it worked is, in week 1, we assigned every one of these competitors a random color, and we gave each of them a different color. And then each week, and they had to build a deck with that color to compete with. And then every week we've added another random color to the mix. And you may note that today is week 5. And as a result, everybody is bringing all 5 colors. And you may think, well, okay, they have all 5 colors to choose from? That sounds pretty reasonable and pretty easy. No, it's not that they have 5 colors to choose from. They are forced to use all 5 colors in their deck in one way or another. So, and we're using commander color identity rules to determine, what's eligible and all that happy jazz. So we have some phenomenal brews for you today, and I'm excited. So Mojo, I can't wait. Additionally, this is the final week of this season, and as a result, we are going to be crowning a Fight Club champion today. Now you notice, okay, each week I say, man, one of these, I need to get a scoreboard for you guys, because I'm keeping track of things on the side. I've got my little mechanism for doing just that. It's like, I need to get a scoreboard set up so that y'all can see what's going on as far as these things are concerned.
So close. It's next.
I finally got a scoreboard for all of you fine folks at home, and it's beautiful. Let me tell you what, I'm really proud of it. I'm a little sleepy because I stayed up way too late last night, really configuring it and really making it flashy so that it would really pop for everybody out there.
It excels, I'll tell you that.
And here it is. Yeah, so here we are, everybody. This is literally the document that I've been using on the back end. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna show it.
Start from the bottom. It's me.
All right, so
me first.
Everybody's on the board at this point. Mojo has 1 point. We have Astralsflame coming in next at 1.5 points. Damien F16 with 2 points. And then, here's where things get interesting. We got Numbskull rocking 3 points. Been on a tear this competition, running things like Invasion of Segovia and Chromebow Sea Shark to phenomenal effect. But Numbskull's not at the top of the charts. No. Top of the charts right now, we have C. Favredo Jr. Yep. Carlo, you know him, you love him. He's been kind of killing the game on Twitch recently, and has been showing everybody that Tyrannex Rex is a beautiful card throughout the course of this tournament, and is chilling at the top of the leaderboard with 3.5 points. So we got 3.5 points at the very top there. So this is respectable. This has been an awesome field, and we've been seeing some beautiful gameplay. So yes, so this is going to be what we're going to be keeping track of throughout the course of this event. Now you may be wondering what the way the scoring system works. Each week, 2 combatants. Well, there are 2 matches, so we have 4 people an opportunity to battle with one another, and then we have a wild card round at the very end. And we do our best scheduling wise to give everybody a chance to be the wild card. Some things went a little sideways this season, so we had to kind of call some audibles, but in the wildcard slot, you do not know who you're going up against. But as a result, everybody plays every week, and if you win your game, you get a point. The half points come in for the first 2 matches. If those participants lose in those matches, they can be voted back to have their deck featured in the wildcard round against the other opponent. Now, the other opponent hadn't played it all, so they're still playing for a point. But if you are brought back for redemption and you win the match, you get half a point. So that's where these half points come from. And as you can see, we've had some explosive redemptions this year, hence some halves. So that's pretty fantastic.
Ultimately, Numbskull and Carlo Favredo are both eligible 100% chance to be crowned each, separately, individually, as Season 3 champion of Fight.
Indeed. Mathematically, at this point, we are going to see one of those two. So at this point, Numbskull is the only participant who can earn, because at any given week, the most you can get is 1 point. So Numbskull is the only one within striking distance of where Carlo is positioned at the top of the leaderboard. Because, Damien there in third could gain a point and get up to 3 points, but that's still not going to be the 3.5.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
So, Numbskull and Carlo are going to be the two folks to watch going into this week. And as a result, we decided to pit them against each other for the second match of the day.
I know.
So
I do. So normally we don't interfere, but this has to happen.
It has to happen.
It has to happen.
And you may think, wait a minute, so the winner of match 2 decides who is the champion? Why would I bother sticking around after we see that match? Well, mathematically speaking, there is one opportunity. We may see this happen. Just go with me here, if Numbskull wins that match and goes up to 4 points, Carlo is now eligible to be brought back in the redemption fight, where he's eligible to earn a 0.5 point and tie it at 4.
Let's go.
If that event occurs, we will then have another, we'll have the tiebreaker match, and we will have them pitted against each other one last time in the final epic cage match here on Fight Club. So that is going to be
to the death and without.
We may be in for a long one that could be very explosive with a lot of ups and downs here today. It's ultimately what we're trying to say. It's possible. This could get out of hand and just get very silly. So
now
I can't wait. Mojo, how you feeling?
I personally, I don't think I can gain 4 points for the victory, but my heart's in it. And guys, I was inspired by you guys. You guys at home, chit chat came to me with a deck idea. I've altered it a little bit, but it is a spicy one, Hammer. If you would like to crack it open for the first deck on Season 3 Grand Finale 5-Color Showdown.
Let's go. All right. So in our first match, we're going to have Mojo versus Damien. And here we go. We have your deck up. What is it that you're working with here? What are we
seeing? I was inspired by a fan, Yucky Foozy. For 5-color Virtue Adventure, guys, with Lear. I'm ecstatic about this, man. All right, so Lear, you can recast your adventures with Lear after using them. We're going to get this Otter Boy, as demonstrating the power of the Otter by Astralsflame. Oh, my, dude. Okay, so we're going to buff up the Otter with the bunny right there onto your right.
Indeed, the pollen shield hair.
Oh, gives it vigilance and unblockable and plus whatever we got.
And that could be a lot, potentially.
If something dies, it comes back. We just reuse it over and over again. We got all the virtues pretty much, except the blue one. I don't like the blue one.
It's very narrow. I notice you don't have the green one in here too, and that one is like.
And we got a copy. So what was that thing that copied? Clover.
Yeah, the Lucky Clover. Yep.
We got a 4-drop built-in Lucky Clover there. And Mosswood Dragon, Mosswood Dog, Viper to clear the path and to burn them away. And we're just going to see sparks flying from the go. And I'm really excited to use with Lear the tech I got from Yucky there. I like that.
Yeah, so shout out to Yuck Foozy for coming up with this interaction. And I do like the way that this is sequenced here, because if you're not sure what we're talking about, Lear gives every instant and sorcery card in your graveyard flashback. It gives them flashback.
Yeah, it goes right back.
It comes back. Things come back. And the cool part is, adventures are instants and sorceries that are on cards in your graveyard. So as far as Lear is concerned, that's free game, baby. And so as a result, you can cast the adventure. You don't get to cast the creature from the graveyard directly. But if you cast the adventure and that adventure resolves, the creature then goes to exile where you can cast it from there. So, if you have the elusive Otter down early and you're beating your opponent up with it and they finally kill it, they're thinking, oh, great, phew. Then you could drop Lear all of a sudden, Grove's Bounty. It's funny. You can even distribute 0 counters. You don't even care. Just get the Otter back.
Yeah, Otter power, Otter pops, man. Otter pops. final.
Yeah, Otter
Final
Pops. I
button
love it.
there.
Yeah.
Definitely demonstrated.
Yep.
2 weeks ago or less. I'm not sure which one. Oscar's brought it in.
Oh, I'm blanking. I'm
Three
afraid. Sorry,
color
I
or
should know
four
that.
color. I don't remember how many colors, but I know that Jamie is in for a sizzling time.
Yeah, so I gotta say, yeah, the Otter is fantastic. Bramble Familiar is also awesome.
Yeah.
With this kind of a setup, knowing that you have Lear on board, you can run this out on 2 and just straight up not care. Like, because there's so many times when you find the Bramble Familiar on like turn 4 or 5, and you find yourself with that question, like, do I play out the creature or do I sandbag it and try to get to the adventure? And I love how in this deck you're just like, nah, play the creature. If it dies, I'll cast the adventure then. It's fine.
Early game explosion and late game diversity. It's gonna it's just get stronger as it goes. I'm having a riot here. There's no sideboard.
Who needs a sideboard?
I do.
Yeah, honestly.
I've the last 3 games I haven't had a sideboard. No parachute. We're operating without that. This is the 3rd and final game. I'm dunking it.
I dig it, man. This is gonna be fun, and this is the kind of deck that definitely rewards you for thinking about your cards differently. It rewards you for like identifying the way that the different zones operate. Like this is one of those decks where I look at it and I can see that like, okay, if a player is plugged in and uses the mana efficiently, this could be insane. And the turns like 4 and 5 that this deck generates are gonna be just nuts to watch. But at the same time, if somebody wasn't paying attention to exactly how their mana was operating and just tried to like curve out with this deck, not being kind of sensitive to where cards were ending up after each play, it could end up looking really bad. And Mojo, I just want to say I have complete faith that you're going to sequence things correctly, and this deck is going to be silly.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's a big time to get one, at least a half point.
I'm looking forward to it, man. This is going to be fun. All right. But yeah, so this is the deck that Mojo's bringing to the party. And then we need to check in with Mojo's competitor, Damien F16. By the way, everybody, all the folks who are featured here are streamers. And you'll notice here on the Twitch, while you're watching this, if you're watching this on the Twitch, the title, the names are all tagged right down there. You can go click on those names. I think you can even just hover them and click the little follow button. It's right there. Just go do it. They're all great. Anyway.
Yep. And
but yes, so let's check in with.
They are.
And on YouTube, the links are in the description.
Yep,
go click on all those links in the description.
These guys are amazing and made this possible thanks to you and these freaking amazing friends through this adventure, guys.
Yes, they're amazing. And the first amazing person aside from the two of us that we're going to be bringing in is in fact Damien. So Damien, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Hey,
indeed.
What's up?
He was in season 2.
I was. I should have kept my distinct red patriotic uniform. It might have done me well, but that's okay. The cycling of the guard and all that, it's, acceptable. However, I do have a little bit more ass kicking to hand out.
No.
Oh, no.
We're just going to have to, just one last, for fun, another little... A little shakedown here. We'll see who wins.
But your deck, I'll fight this guy.
your deck looks good, but it's also the sideboardless thing. You keep doing this. It is kind of like pointless to make a sideboard. It's like one deck that's 5 colors. Like what am I really gonna put in?
Yeah, what are the chances?
But at the same time, it feels bad. Like it's like it's like you're fighting me with one hand behind your back, and I'm using both, and I'm like, well, now I just feel like a douchebag. Like if I win, that's not cool, and if I don't win, that's even worse. Like he beat me with no sideboard. If I win, I beat him. He didn't even have a sideboard. I just feel bad. It's like there's no. I can't beat you no matter what happens. Mojo.
We've actually fought each other a lot. I'm not that afraid of you.
Oh man.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Very cool, man. Yeah, exactly. Of course. Yeah. So very cool, man. So going into this challenge, knowing that you had to come up with a 5-color deck, what was your thought process? What were the cards you were thinking about leaning towards?
Okay, so if I'm going to play a 5-color deck, I want to play 5-color cards. So obviously, I don't want to say the cards before we get in the deck, but there's a specific 5-color card that I've been playing since it came out, and everybody else, I think it saw a tiny little bit of play right when it first dropped, not really, just when people were testing, right after March of the Machines came out. I continued to play it basically for months and continued to work on that deck as the other kind of ramp decks, evolved, and the other 5-color ramp deck's not really a 5-color deck, right? It's mostly green, white ramp, and they're touching, blue and black just for Atraxa essentially, and red maybe for, to get the domain, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But I want to play all the 5-color cards. So Kami War is last week's. It's old. It's played out. The new hotness is the one that I'm playing in my deck, and God, it feels so good to flip it. And only recently, since the printing of Bramble Familiar, have we seen this card suddenly seeing play. And I'm like, what? I've been doing this for months with this, and now everybody's like, oh, to check out this deck. I'm like, God, if anybody who's watched my channel, you already know what I'm talking about. It's the 5-color ramp deck that I've played for a long time. So I like playing cards with 5 mana symbols on them. That's one of them. Courier's Briefcase is another one I really wanted to play.
Excellent.
And I'm trying to think of, yeah, and I even put another big fat red dork in there that I haven't played recently, but I thought, you know what, we should have a red card, not just cards with red mana symbols on them. So put in a big dinosaur just for you, Favretto. I got you, homie.
I love it. What with that?
It's like a Lara.
Yeah. He likes his dinosaurs, that guy. I don't know. He
No,
wants them to
absolutely.
not be extinct.
No. Oh, there's a Lara.
So let's go ahead and look into it.
No,
We got it.
Invasion
And
of
of course,
Alara.
Invasion of
Yeah.
Alara. Yeah, the
Invasion of
coolest
Alara
card.
If you've not flipped an Invasion of Alara, it doesn't matter. Just look how many words are on this damn card. Hover over that card. It's 2 essays. If that card doesn't just win you the game, there's no other card that's going to do it. With that many words, you don't have to read them to know you lose. It's Cruel Ultimatum. It feels like, I don't know what else to compare it to. I've blown up their lands. I've copied my ley lines, copied my Desecrator, trigger again, flip another battle or whatever. Like you get to start doing really, really crazy stuff with Cemetery Desecrator, Invasion of Alara. Now, that we've been doing this for a while, but only recently has this deck suddenly kind of, well, there was a brief spike in popularity when they were just going all in on this with Bramble Familiar. But there's a lot of things you can do when you're not going all in with Bramble Familiar. The invasion can hit drag to the bottom, which is a wrath basically 90% of the time. So you can, it's like you're playing 6 copies of Wrath, which is really good against creature decks and stuff. It gives -6/-6, so it doesn't kill your Atali, doesn't kill your Atraxa. And then if you ever flip an invasion, you can put 3 counters on your Desecrator to make it a 7/7, and it won't die to drag to the bottom. And so the other stuff's just to ramp you. I'm playing the Turtle Shigeki pair as like a weird late game, like rebuy my stuff to keep doing it over and over kind of combo where you guys I'm sure are familiar with this, where you get to Shigeki, get Shigeki in your yard, Turtle brings back a card, then Shigeki channels brings back Turtle plus something else, and then you loop Turtle and Shigeki like that, and you're always getting back 1 additional or 2 additional card once you have tons of mana. And then the rest is basic stuff. I put Atali in here. I haven't played Atali in a while, but I figured let's put a red creature in there, sure, because every other it's the only red card. That way I'm touching all the colors. We've got Angel in there for white, Leyline Bindings. There's Turtle for blue, Atraxa for blue. I guess I don't have an actual blue card, like some in the sideboard, Seed Sharks.
I mean, the sideboard is quite blue. Yeah. So this covers all the bases. One, I love how you're doing Invasion of Alara, but to your point, you're doing it as kind of this ramp deck, not the Bramble Familiar combo deck. Because that's one that we've all seen that deck, and it burst on the scene when it spiked in MTGO Challenge. Like, you went 5-0 in one MTGO Challenge, and the world just freaked out.
I know. For 2 days. That's all I saw on the ladder.
And a bunch of people, it was absolutely everywhere. And then I think most people realized that, like, it's a fun deck when it works, and you can easily get a 5 match win streak with it. But in reality, it's I don't know. It feels more like a coin flip. When it works, it's great. When it doesn't, it does nothing. So
or I'm gonna die.
So
I appreciate that you're not doing that. This is much more like a much more focused, dialed in ramp deck.
There is some variance here. Like, Invasion of Alara is a coin flip style card. Now it's not quite any card. Like, Atali's literally just hit the next spell. So Atali really sucks with counter magic and other random stuff, removal sometimes if they don't have targets.
Right.
But Invasion, like, restricting it to 4 allows you to hit some interesting stuff. Like, you can later in the game you can hit an Angel, and you can still kick the Angel off the Invasion if you played for free. Sometimes you need ramp and it hits a Stomp or hits a Briefcase or whatever. Like, those are the worst hits, quote unquote, when you hit a Briefcase or whatever. But there's only 2 Briefcases, and it's not even that bad. I rarely regret it. Even though it's quote unquote the worst hit, I still don't mind having a way to draw cards in the late game or make a body or ramp in the early game. Shigeki's probably the literal worst hit, but it's a 1-of, so you're not hitting it very often.
And even then, you get 2 cards. You can put that one in your hand, and you can put So
it's a weird coin flip. Yeah.
This is gonna be a great fight. I'm excited because I gotta go off, and then I can kind of recur. There's no Sunfalls. I appreciate. Thank you for not.
I went with the drags today. All right.
Ramping off. So it's the fisticuffs, knuckle to knuckle.
Yeah, you knew it was going
Good
to happen
stuff.
with this 5-color
Dude.
nonsense. So yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, Carnage on the prelims. Let's go.
This is going to be an awesome battle. And I got to say, yeah, Damien, thank you so much for everything that you've been doing these past few weeks. This has been an awesome show. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to thank me. Thank you guys for doing it. It's on your channel. It was Mojoe's brainchild.
Actually,
So
guys,
Absolutely.
little behind the scenes, Damien is the inspiration. He's the one that's like, Mojo, let's do Fight Club. And the first time it fell under. Second time, he stuck. We got everybody called up. They did their thing, and they amazing decks and amazing people and amazing adventure all the way from the get-go. Damien, do you have anything to say to chat?
Well, I just want to say the adventure's been wonderful, and it's not about the accomplishment, it's about who you meet along the.
This is false. I'm the true champion. It's rigged. How am I not in the finals? I'm fighting against Mojo? Give me a break. I did my own research. I should be in first, not Fabretto. No, you won't suppress.
Anyway, yeah, so the friends along the way were great, and, I'm just glad somebody else could win this time, because
He froze me,
it's
Hammer.
about time. I've had the belt for a year. What's going on?
Hammer, I'm froze.
Okay?
Yeah, I think you broke Mojo.
What happened?
Hey,
Touch clock.
Technical difficulties?
Hammer,
You having
touch
wardrobe
the
yeah, we're
malfunction?
just a little some issues with the stream.
Okay.
I'll figure.
Best of
Yeah,
luck,
it's just-
Mojo. Best of luck, Mojo.
Best of luck, 'cause I'm gonna need it.
Yes, you will, my friend.
All right. Holy banana.
Okay.
I gotta get back in the locker room and fight
Yeah,
this Sasquatch
for sure. Holy cow. Yeah. So let's get ready for the match.
Touch gloves. Wheeling me in the back.
Yeah, no, Mojo, get back to the locker room. Get ready. Now, so as you can imagine, Mojo's going to be competing, and doing commentary while competing is tricky. It's very difficult to pull off. So I'm going to bring in the one and only Carlos C. Ferreira Jr. in the house. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, hello.
Welcome. All right. So here we are. So congratulations being the point leader. Let me be the first to say that. Before we, grill you appropriately about your deck later. But yeah, so congratulations on that. What are you looking forward to in this match? What do you think we're going to be seeing from these fighters?
I'm interested to see if we're able to get Mojoe's deck to pop off. I mean, if Mojoe's able to start copying a bunch of adventures, recast them from the yard, it might be a little bit difficult for Damien to do it.
100%. I think it is going to come down to who can set up. Well, it's funny because who can set up their engine. I think Damien's deck is a little more explosive once it gets the mana. And so we're watching from Damien's perspective. He's looking at a hand with 5 lands, a Traxa, and a Courier's Briefcase. I would imagine he'd prefer some earlier interaction. But yeah, this is a snap keep to me too.
If it's me,
Damien,
I'm keeping this.
I would keep this as well. Because if you draw action, you can play it. Like...
Briefcase is one of my favorite cards. You'll see that later. But, get you a creature to block. If your opponent's got an aggressive deck, it ramps you guaranteed mana. This is easy keep.
Yeah, no, this is cash money right here. Yeah, and the Bloodbraid Elf agrees. Now, the draw of that Virtual Persistence was fantastic. So now there's some early removal for that Otter. Let's just call it what it is. Damien is going to play out the double Triomes, get those established. Not a bad idea. All right. Well, and the other 2 lands, notably the Haunted Ridge and the Overgrown Farmland, were the slow lands. Ooh. Mojo casts out the Virtue of Loyalty. All right.
Mojo has a real fast start. And you see, instead of going for like a removal spell in the Otter here, we've got Damien that is like, nope, I'm just going to ramp. And let's see if Mojo can keep up.
Yeah, in a way, this is Damien almost feels like calling a bluff, where it's like, yeah, so Mojo, your goal is to beat me early. I'm going to make you beat me early. I'm going to give you a couple of free shots because I know if I get to Atraxa, this is over.
And just
all right,
like that,
Chancellor of Tales.
Damien sees it. The fairy is getting off the board here.
Yeah, that would be pretty scary. So getting rid of the flying body and the Lucky Clover effect is pretty meaningful.
Was it Scalding Viper is
Scalding
bouncing
Viper?
the Stomper?
Yeah, Bouncing Stomper. So now the Otter is effectively unblockable.
Yep.
Because it has kind of anti-Skulk. where it can only be blocked by creatures with power greater than its own, or equal, I believe. So as a result, that 1/1 can't really do squat here. Another Virtue.
Yeah,
Yeah, Damien wants to block the 3.
Jump Vigilance. We get the Otters coming through for 3 damage. Oh, but Damien just drew Archangel of Wrath. And we can get the double kick here that deals with the Otter and one of these tokens.
Ouch. Yeah, that was the best top deck that Damien could have asked for there. And right as he hit 5 mana. That was just, yeah. Or 6 rather, sorry.
And
I don't math
Damien, and Damien has the mana for Atraxa next turn. Unless Damien wants to spin the wheel with Atali.
Which I highly recommend, but I can understand if Damien isn't feeling that. Yep. So this attack, you know this is a trick.
Gotta be a trick.
Damien blocks anyway. Let's see what you got. Virtue of Persistence.
Virtue for Arcane. Angel, yeah.
But hey, at this point, Damien just watched Mojoe spend 2 cards, effectively, to deal with 1 Archangel. And he's sitting at 21 life? That feels great.
Damien's gonna go for the Stomper. Come on, spin the
like,
wheel. Yeah, here we go.
So it looked like Damien didn't want to spend the briefcase, which is reasonable.
It's okay. We got enough. We got enough mana.
I think this will generate enough value.
Let's
it's gonna be fine.
Dino. Oh, sorry, Mojo.
Yep.
With Scalding
Scalding Viper and then the Leyline Binding is a great hit. Yep.
So I think you just play this, right? Because you're gonna binding the Viper that's on the battlefield.
Right. Yeah, so you get one little pop there, sure. Yep, and then the Fresh Viper is live and online. All right. Good stuff.
So what can Mojo do? Mojo can't play any of the white virtues because you don't have double white, which is why they played the edge wall in on white.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely missing that.
And here we go. We spinning the wheel again.
Spinning the wheel of Atali once more.
Oh.
Yeah, Atali is one of those where it being on the board, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, Atali is a 7/7 trampler. Obviously, if it's on the board, it needs to get off the board or you have a problem. But bouncing it feels so bad. Because, yeah, you know it's just coming back. Unless the opponent, cheated it into play somehow and doesn't actually have the mana. But, yeah, in this case, woof. All right. So, yeah, Mojo playing out the Bramble Fam. Yeah, this board is just...
Only 7 untapped mana. Can't even flip the Atali, Damien. What are we doing?
I know. Come on, man. Get with it. Playing out the Virtue... doesn't need to rock the Atraxa, but having Atraxa in your back pocket while you already have a dominant position on board feels pretty good.
Here comes the Virtue. All right.
Virtue of Persistence just chilling.
This one...
It's got to be the Otter, right?
Taking the Otter just to spite Mojo.
Yep.
This is great.
Yeah, and just choosing just attack. Mojo was tapped out, no cards in hand. The writing on the wall. Could have taken some game actions there with Leyline Binding and whatnot, but decided nope. Let's just end it. I respect that. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. We're gonna take a look at it from Mojo's perspective next.
We're definitely gonna watch from Mojo's perspective here. So right now we have Damien sideboarding. Now, how do you think Mojo is gonna sideboard in this match? What do you think?
0 cards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think
maybe some more early interaction, or maybe no. Okay, got it.
If Damien wants, Damien can bring in like negates and disdainful strokes.
Yep.
Maybe the farewell if he wants to get rid of just enchantments, but I think Damien might have enough power here.
All right, perfect. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch this game from Mojo's perspective. All right, Holy Lands, Batman.
Keep.
I mean,
7 lands.
If you're gonna be stuck on lands,
19 more lands left in Damien's deck. We keep.
I mean,
and we're on a. Oh man,
it's a multi 6. Yeah.
Yeah, keep. We can play every spell in our deck. Let's go.
Yeah. There were challenges last time with the colors. This time that won't be the case.
Nope. We can play every spell in our deck. Facts.
Yep. So yeah, we've got the Fiend's Tower. There's the Restless Fortress. Now, part of the challenge here, well, hey, like that one, that's a spell in our deck.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So here's where you throw Xander's Lounge with Zetor's Proving Grounds. If I'm Mojo, I'm going to sandbag that Edgewall in to the very end. I do not want to commit to a color on that unless I know full well I'm missing something. All right, so the Virtue of Courage.
I didn't see last game either.
Virtue of Courage, that is a shock in the back pocket, so that's good. And it's just going to slap face. Ooh. Restless Cottage, good times.
Yeah, probably just playing one of the creature lands and passing.
Yeah.
Gotta save the Beseiju. Maybe to have it enter untapped to cast the Virtue of Courage.
It's not a bad idea, because the Virtue of Courage does represent a pretty sick card draw opportunity there. Well, right now there's... Oh, yeah, and there's the double blue already, but with Xander's Lounge and Rafine's Tower. So, yeah, no, Lear is more or less online here. Mojo choosing to just kind of take it easy. It's interesting, in this matchup, I would assume that Mojo's deck is going to be the more beatdown, but obviously with that hand, there was no way that was going to happen. Here we go. Mojo keeps looking at that Edgewall in. Don't do it, Mojo. Don't do it.
Don't do it. We got other lands you can play tapped.
You got plenty of other lands. It's fine. Totally fine.
Does he want to play? I would just straight up play the Lear here. I mean, Damien probably has Leyline Binding, right?
There's a good chance of that.
Something's going to get hit.
All right. If Damien has the Leyline Binding, he chose not to cast it on Mojo's end step. Which is notable, because that would have been a fine time for it.
Damien has 6 mana, has access to playing Invasion of Alara, but still just passing the turn.
Okay, now it's Edgewall time. Naming blue. Because Mojo may want to do triple blue here in the not-too-distant future. There comes Lear. Now, notably, Damien did not sideboard in all those counter spells, which easily could have, but instead opting for more removal. Which, unfortunately, if you're Mojo, there hasn't been an opportunity for removal to land on anything yet. So
is that all that's in Damien's hand? Is mono removal?
And you know, we have the Archangel of Wrath. There was the Go for the Throat. We might be looking at a situation where he's got, a Leyline Binding and an Atraxa, and
I don't think
that's that.
3 white.
That is
played
unfortunate.
the Edgewall in blue.
Yep.
Yep.
That is massively unfortunate. All right, so here
coming in
comes
with the cottage.
Restless Cottage.
Let's
That
go.
card
Get
is
a food
pretty darn
token.
good. Now, Mojo there exiling the Herd Migration out of Damien's graveyard could be relevant because Damien is running Cemetery Desecrator. Cemetery Desecrator exiles a card from a graveyard, and then you get an effect, either killing a creature of a certain size or removing counters off of a permanent based on the mana value of the card exiled. So Herd Migration is great for that because if you have an Invasion of Alara down, you can remove the Herd Migration. You've now removed 7 mana out of your graveyard. And you get to remove 7 counters off of your invasion, and it flips and things get silly.
Well, I think if I'm Mojo here, I'm just casting the Invasion of Persistence. Or Invasion. Virtue of Persistence. Just straight out 7 mana, and hope and pray that Damien doesn't have Leyline Binding for it.
Right? That would hurt. Yeah, and I mean, at this point, Beseiju, if the Leyline Binding comes down, then Beseiju could answer it, but the problem is it would have to be during Mojo's upkeep.
Yeah.
And so that would still be a turn without the trigger. Meanwhile, Damien has a board. There's 7 power on board. Virtual Persistence. Okay. Right now, graveyards are looking a little sparse. However,
Lear's coming out.
Lear's back.
It's okay. We can Beseiju Damien's Virtue.
That is true. Actually, right now, the other thing is Mojo can cast the adventure part, the Grove's Bounty, to get the Elusive Otter out of the graveyard and into the exile zone.
Yep.
And so as a result, graveyards will have no creatures in them. So Damien can even keep the Virtue online for a turn. It's not going to matter. Because there's nothing in graveyards to hit yet.
We're putting counters on the cottage, maybe?
That seems to be the thought. And I like that thought. I think that's a cool thought.
Looks like maybe Mojo is thinking about, we can't Beseiju now because we animated the Restless Cottage. So we cannot Elusive Otter for the green ability either.
Well, Mojo can, but it would tap the cottage.
Yeah.
So
Unless we play out the Boseiju.
It looked like that was the consideration, but it looks like Mojo would rather blast. Yeah, Boseiju blast the Awakened Skyclave. Get that 4/4 off the ground. Makes sense. Yeah, animating the cottage did not end up being
yeah, we were short.
Did not end up being valuable here, unfortunately. Yep, and this means Damien's going to be able to get the Otter. Yeah, one more green source would have been huge.
Oh, and here comes one of many leyline bindings.
Yep. Leyline binding answering the virtue of persistence. And now I wonder, does Damien have a kill spell for Lear? That would be devastating. If there's a go for the throat. Well, this Atraxa will probably find one. Let's see what happens. Yep. There's Atraxa. Damien still has 4 mana back. Oof. You know, I hate to...
4 cards, including Invasion of Alara.
And then ripping Invasion. Triggering the prowess off the Otter just for...
Oh,
I don't know. Is that Spite? I feel like that might be Spite.
Stomper, cast for free, and Stomper to hand.
Alright. Yep. And the Angel's putting some power.
Bouncing
now,
the
Mojo
Atraxa back for fun.
Yeah, bouncing back Atraxa. I mean, it's one of those unfortunate things. Like, what you want to do here is bounce back the Otter, but then if you attack into Atraxa, what are you gonna do? Like, so.
Looks like going for that virtue play.
I'm also seeing some comments in chat. You are not wrong, everybody. Mojo's cursor is exceptionally large. I don't know what setting he had to make that happen, but it gets the job done. Yep, there's the Desecrator. Gonna get his Exile on. Gonna flip the Invasion of Alara.
Oh my god, this is the win the game card. Ready?
This is it. Oh, 100%.
Awaken the Maelstrom.
There are a number of cards out there that have these gigantic walls of text that Damien was alluding to. And really, they could be summed up in just one simple sentence. It just is you win the game. Like right there, Damien even gave Mojo 2 cards. He didn't have to do that. He easily could have targeted himself with that.
Yeah.
And
made a copy of the Desecrator, huh?
Making the copy of the Desecrator, which is going to be able to exile something and kill the Knight. Yep. So that's the backside, the Awaken the Maelstrom. I mean, it's a 5-mana battle across all 5 colors, and it has 7 defense, so flipping it is difficult. So, but it basically says you win the game. Like, it just does.
There were so many triggers on the elusive Otter that Damien stole that it caused him to win the game.
Yeah, that was the edge for lethal that turn, exactly.
That was great.
All right. Good stuff. So, Carlo, thank you so much for joining me in the booth. We will be chatting with you here in just a little bit, leading up to your match. So, yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate you, bud. Go ahead and head on back to the locker room. We're going to check in with our competitors for this match.
My God, what do you feed this guy?
All right.
Well,
so,
yeah.
Damien,
well
played.
To do the thing. You saw how crazy it was when you do get to do the thing at the end there, flipping Alara.
100%.
So ridiculous. Randomly just getting to play Courier's Briefcase for free. Why? Put an artifact into play? Like, why do they even have that many of these lines that don't even... But then randomly they do things sometimes? It's fun. Sorry, Mojo.
I could have sideboarded them with that. There's no way.
D-stroke.
Yeah, 4 D-strokes coming out of the sideboard would have been helpful.
With my Lear in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, anyway,
goofy
stuff.
D-stroke, but that would take away my Lear.
Yeah, Lear would have made that a little tricky. That's fair. Yep.
Well, it's more of a showcase of what's possible in Standard because of the tri-lands not rotating and things like Leyline Binding. And I mean, you see Up the Beanstalk and how good it is. We literally just talked about this on our podcast, the Magic Jank podcast last week. And yeah, it's crazy. So you can play 5-color cards, and there's all these wild, Atraxas and ramp cards and things that, there's things to ramp really well and things to ramp into. So yeah, it's kind of a dumb deck. Sorry, Mojo. I should have played something more creative, but I just didn't have a lot of time this week.
That's all right. I love you always, dude. It's been a great season, and I will see you back in the locker room for the after party.
Yep, and good luck to the rest of the competitors, and whoever wins, may the best man win. Hopefully,
Great
it's a
show,
good showdown
family.
at the end. So
Yep.
Awesome.
Great,
Yeah, David.
I
great
think
time.
Thank you so much.
we've vanquished our inner demons. I think now,
Guys,
so.
this is the season 2
Aw.
champion right here.
Love it.
This
Absolutely
season
love it.
forever.
Thank you again for
Anyway.
another great season.
Awesome.
Here we
But yeah,
go,
David,
guys.
thank you so much,
GG's,
man.
guys. See you,
All
chat.
right.
Bye, everybody.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and bring in Carlo. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Oh, where are you?
We were just chatting.
there.
Yeah. So, for our next fight, we are going to have Carlo here face off against Numbskull. And as previously mentioned, these two are our points leaders right now. So you can see Carlo is number 1 on the leaderboard with 3.5 points, winning so far this season. Again, everybody admire my beautiful graphics for this scoreboard. I'm very proud of it.
Oh, look at that.
Production value truly top notch. if I may toot my own horn. But yes. So Carlo versus Numbskull. This is gonna be it, man. So how do you feel about this? You take this down, you're the champ.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
so
Numbskull takes it down, then you gotta get relegated to
Oh
a different
my
bracket,
God.
and you're not out of it.
yeah,
but what are you
I
feeling?
expect Numbskull to bring that hot fire this week.
The hot fire.
Not that Numbskull hasn't been bringing hot fire,
Not the cold
but
fire.
we get to play with all the colors this week, so nobody knows who's bringing what. There can be one thing guaranteed, and that is that I'm bringing Tyrannix Rex this week,
Oh,
right?
Of course.
Because
Why
we've
wouldn't
had it every week, right? So we can't not play it for the finale week. So
I mean,
Tyrannix
of
Rex
course.
is back, baby.
T-Rex is back, baby. All right, let's see
From
this thing.
WWE. Who's Rex?
All right, so we got your deck up here. Go ahead and talk us through this. What are we working with?
All right, so similar theme to we've had throughout all of Fight Club. You know, we started this season with mono green, right? Playing mono green ramp. We went to Gruul. We got to add some cards like Charming Scoundrel to the deck. Week 3, we were on Jund, so we got to play a bunch of sweet Jund cards, including like sideboarding cards like Unleash the Inferno and stuff. Last week, we changed it up a little bit. We were cheesing with some rabble rousing and some Moonshaker Cavalry.
Yeah, buddy.
Because why not?
Why not?
So this
They got
week, we're
double
back to
cavalry.
those ramp routes. So you'll see that I'm still playing the Bramble Familiar and Charming Scoundrel, but we were able to add Courier's Briefcase, and I've been waiting so long to add this card to the deck. Number 1, because it's guaranteed mana. No matter what, I get that treasure unless opponent is playing random artifact removal, right? And 2, I get a 1/1 blocker. So it serves the same purpose as Charming Scoundrel if you play it on turn 2 or 3, however you're ramping to make that treasure token. But I also get to add up the Beanstalk this week. And the reason that card is important is because it allows me casting all of my big payoff spells to refill that card in my hand. So in the event that Numbskull is like countering my big spells, I get to at least replace it with something else.
Hey, Carlo.
Card is busted.
Yes.
And you know, as we can see, still ramping with Stomper into Invasion of Zendikar. So there are still plenty of basic lands in this deck. We've got to play Wrath spells this week in Sunfall because, you know, I heard word on the street that Numbskull likes to play with Invasion of Segovia, and we can't just have Krakens around here. So we do have a Wrath effect. But I'm also of the understanding that lots of people wanted to bring Leyline Binding this week. So I need an extra card to be able to deal with enchantments. And Kogla and Yidaro actually does that for 4 mana. If you discard it, you get to blow up an enchantment, you get to draw a card, and you can then just get it later in the game and use it as a fight spell. So we too get to play Leyline Binding. We still get to slot machine with Atali, play a Tyrannix Rex, and I get to play one of my favorite cards of all time, which is the Kami War. So in case my Rex ends up in the yard, it might just end up back in my hand, and my creature might get +8/+8, or +7/+7. So I am excited to play all of the cards that we have this week.
I love it.
Yeah, you know, taking a look at the sideboard. Sideboard is pretty much just some extra removal, some gain life necessities if we need. I'm excited that I get to keep Unleash the Inferno. That is one of my favorite cards to play with. And helps deal with some other big creatures. So, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Good stuff.
So, Carlo, I have heard a joke that I'm itching to tell you. How did Jack find out where the giants lived?
He climbed up the beanstalk.
Beanstalk.
Oh man. All right.
It's Beanstalk. All right,
Beanstalk. I see what you did there. All right. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, the ramp package looks rock solid. I love kind of honestly Courier's briefcase. The fact that we've been playing with Commander color identity rules means that it's been off the table this whole time because of the 5-color activation. So yeah, I love the fact that that's of all the cards that people could really be leaning into. I love the fact that like, 2 out of 3 decks we've seen so far have been featuring Courier's briefcase because I think it's truly excellent. So yeah.
Card. So this is your area of expertise, Carlo. You are in your comfort element.
Yeah, usually I'm the 5-color player all the time. I love playing 5-color decks. So I'm like, man, I gotta wait till the last week, but we still get to jam some 5-color goodness.
If Numbskull ever has played a 5-color deck, so this is.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, and he's no sleepover, and it's no slouch.
So Numbskull is not going to be an easy opponent. It's we're battling with the big dogs this week, and we're battling with the best possible combination of colors in these decks that we could play with too. So it's certainly going to be a match.
For all the marbles, Hammer hit him up with the most important question of our lives, let alone this competition.
Here it is. So, as we said, this match could decide the champion of Fight Club. So what words do you have to say for your opponent before we send you back to the locker room and ultimately get you in the ring?
Are you ready to get defeated in this commie war?
That's a fair question. Let's check in with Numbskull and find out. So yeah, Carlo, thank you so much, man. This is gonna be a good one. All right, so let's bring in Numbskull. All right, hey Numbskull, how you doing, man?
What's up, guys?
Welcome back to the boat, brother.
Thank you for having me on your boat.
This here is the decisive bout, Numbskull. No pressure, but it is all on you.
Yeah, no pressure. Just
ready.
all of the pressure. That's it. That's all you have. Just all of the pressure.
I'm ready.
All right. But yeah, so like we were saying, here we go. You're in number 2 with only behind by half a point. I mean, if you win this thing, then that brings you up to the points leader. And Carlo's then reliant on the redemption match to get back into this thing.
Numbskull, I'm going to dox you. Have you ever played a 5-color deck in your life? Are you thinking hard about that? That flashback comment?
That says everything right there. Yeah.
I think I tried to play it whenever it got like really good, and I didn't enjoy it, so I just stopped.
Oh man,
Fair enough.
Just like your standard meta 5-colored. I just like tried it to see if I like
so
that.
excited
Sure.
to see what you've come up with then.
Oh
my
it.
god, dude.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, I've added. There's a little bit of everything. Definitely.
Oh, no.
So, Ian, before we bring the deck, we're gonna bring the deck up here in just a second. But before we do, throughout the course of this competition, you've really you got started with blue.
I'm so
and as I
proud.
recall, during the weigh-in when we gave you blue, or when blue came out of the box, there was a sense of genuine disappointment and frustration, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
It's a short stick.
That said, though, it would have been so easy at any point in the competition when other colors came in for you to kind of like pivot and have blue just be the splash, but you didn't. As you've grown, as we've gone throughout the competition, every week you seem to be iterating on kind of a similar theme to where you started and adding these other colors to help support it, and it's been so cool to watch. And a lot of those decks have been like surprisingly effective and really, really dominant.
Snowballing in the good way this time.
Yeah, and it's been with a lot of Convoke effects, leveraging cards like the Invasion of Segovia and Chrome Host Seed Shark. I'd say those two have been like the kind of the linchpin that's been tying a lot of your decks together. So when you were tasked with building 5 colors, what was your first thought? How did you want to approach it? Because you can do anything. You're not limited to that theme.
Anything.
My first thought was now that I have red was Explosive Singularity.
Heck yes.
Oh, nasty. You made a 5-color.
Convoke for 10 damage. Yeah.
Convoking Explosive Singularity, and then another fun one where I've made token decks before, because I do enjoy a good token deck. If you can't tell, is Stencia Uprising.
Ooh,
all right. I got
a very used card.
I gotta bring it up. Here we go. Yes.
Yeah.
So here we go. Stancia Uprising. Holy cow.
Hey, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yep. It's real.
Enchantment for 2 red. At the beginning of your end step, you create a 1/1 red human creature token. Then, if you control exactly 13 permanents, that includes your lands, you may sacrifice Stancia Uprising. When you do, it deals 7 damage to any target.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's fun. It's a really fun card.
I love your deck.
So it's definitely a little all over the place, but like I think I can make it work.
I hope so.
It is all over the place, but you're going wide with tokens with the Convoke top end in Ancient Fears or Explosive Singularity. And sure enough, Invasion of Segovia, and you have the 4 Chromo Sea Shark.
Yeah,
I love it. No notes.
You have a chance to win this with this pile.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
It's actually, you know what I mean? And then the Urbrass Forge is a sneaky one too. I threw that in there because that it can get out of hand, you know.
Yeah, Forge is fantastic. I have to say, Forge is one of those cards. I've played a couple of decks. I've been tinkering with it a little bit myself because like every time it sticks, I can't tell you how many times I've gone up against mono red and just thought, okay, it's mono red. I've got a decent hand. I'll be able to remove a couple of things, maybe gain a couple points of life. I'll be able to hang on. They'll run out of gas. It'll be fine. Turn 3, Urbrass Forge. Crap. It's like, well,
that's like the beginning of the end.
Yep.
Unless you have artifact removal.
Exactly. The amount of reach that this card can give, like red aggressive strategies, is silly. And the fact that it's creating tokens, you know, those are obviously Convoke opportunities, or you know, I don't see much in the way of like sacrifice effects, but they you know, combine beautifully with that. It can get out of hand. So yeah, I love it.
Dude, I'm at City on Fire and Explosive Singularity. Numpstar, you're giving me so many ideas all over this place with this deck.
Hope to be inspiring.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, and it's funny too, because I do think, like, if I can just kind of soapbox for just half a second, there's a little ham editorial for everybody. Right now, decks like this might be able to get you some sneaky wins on the ladder, like maybe more than you think. Because yes, Sunfall is out there. It is an incredibly popular card in the Domain deck. It dunks on this really hard. It does. That said, though, this deck having a couple of non-creature ways to kind of go over the top, that is very meaningful and could definitely help in those situations. But when you're looking at like the Esper mid-range lists or these like mono black lists, it's all targeted removal. Like a lot of them don't run sweepers. Like they might have like some cruelty, like a 2 of Cruelty of Gix in the sideboard, but that's about it. And so as a result, going stupid wide with little things might actually work more often than you think right now, unless it becomes popular and then people pack more sweepers. But for the moment,
he did pack 3 Sunfalls. Forge is gonna hopefully have an answer for that.
Hopefully Forge and then Uprising will give me the opportunities to like rebuild the board semi quickly, or just at least continue pressure even after a board wipe, you know.
Absolutely. Well, and the Chromo Sea Shark is also such a powerful piece for that, because those incubator tokens, if they're not animated, they're not creatures and they don't get swept up. So you can rebuild a board just by having a bunch of open mana and a handful of incubator tokens lying around. It's really cool.
Hopefully I have some
and we've seen you do that in this competition, where the opponent's like, all right, my current board state is going to kill you if you don't sweep it. And they sweep it. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to animate all these and then kill you anyway. It's like, oh, well.
If you, Mr. Magoo, your way to victory tonight with this absolute artwork, abstract art.
This is silly, but I love it. Yep.
It's that postmodern.
Exactly. Yes. It's postmodern deck building. I love it.
Postman.
Here in standard. Yeah, it's a very avant-garde choice. I love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, this is sweet. I dig it.
Man, Numbskull.
So yeah, hopefully we have fun.
This is awesome.
Oh,
anything you want to say? All right, Numbskull. This is an honor to say to you. I mean, I'm so excited to have you on this adventurous voyage since the very beginning.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to get you because you're a dear friend of mine, and we've been knowing each other a long time. Do you have anything to say in your final championship bout to Chet and Carlo Favretto, your opponent?
Just thank you everyone for coming through each week to cheer us on. That's really cool. Thank you for help making this thing what it is, because we couldn't do it without you. And I hope you've enjoyed watching me kick ass as much as possible. And You know, hope
Asses
to
have been kicked, you
continue it in the
promised, and-
future.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope I've delivered on my promises as much as I could for you guys, and it's been a great time, and I'm gonna try to win this thing.
Cheers to that.
Heck yeah. You'll love to see it. All right.
All right,
Well, with
hit 'em up
that-
with the gloves, family.
If you're ready, let's go ahead and touch gloves. Let's get you back. Let's get you out into the ring.
Talk to you
The
guys soon.
players are making their way
Absolutely.
to the locker room, guys. This can be the decisive bout right here, right
It's
now.
happening.
On
This
Fight
is it,
Club
everybody.
Season 3, guys.
Here we go. If Carlo wins this match,
Yep.
we have our champion. If Numbskull wins this match, there's an outside chance.
Oh my gosh.
There's an outside chance that in the wild card round, if Carlo wins the redemption, comes back and then wins against Astralsflame in that wild card slot, we could be looking at a we could be looking at a bit of an upset here.
Decisive bout, sudden death.
Here it is, everybody.
We're going in
Bramble
live.
Familiar from Carlo. We're watching from Carlo's perspective, by the way.
I'm on.
So we got a Bramble Familiar right out the gate. You also notice a T-Rex in hand there. All right. Now, notably, Carlo has one little sticking point, one little issue here,
There you go.
and that is the lack of a land drop. All right, so the Bramble Familiar and the Treasure are going to put on another Bramble Familiar, making a mana source that's a little more permanent. And I feel that Invasion of Zendikar is going to be especially clutch.
Oh, no. It's so rampy.
All
Hopefully,
right.
Path of Peril would have been nice from Numbskull, but not giving those manas right now.
All right. So there we go. Chromos Sea Shark is online. That is the dream turn 3 for Numbskull here.
No,
Evasion
Path of Peril is
of,
everything
Zendikar.
2 and under. But it's a little late for that.
Right.
That would have been
All right.
amazing.
So here we go. No clean
Ramping
attacks. But just like that, you know, that Land Binding's live. Which is pretty darn handy. But additionally, Carlo, despite missing a land drop for 2 turns, Carlo didn't hit their land drop on turn 3 or turn 4. But because of the Invasion of Zendikar and those Bramble Familiars, we're looking at 6 mana here. Like, if Carlo top decks an untapped red source, Atali's live.
Yeah.
There's also not a white source, unfortunately.
Briefcase coming in.
Briefcase,
hot.
yep.
Sunfall locked and loaded, but he opts and wait for a binding by Shark.
Yep, Binding coming down first. Bind one of those sharks. Absolutely.
Swing in. No, not swinging at the Zendikar.
Choosing not to swing in could have flipped the land, but I think that signals to us that Carlo is seriously considering that Sunfall.
So Atali or
Do we Atali or do I mean T-Rex could also be pretty terrifying here.
But Carlo loves to flip that coin. We all know Carlo.
I mean, yeah. All right.
He loves
So
flipping
Numbskull
these
doing
coins.
Bushwhack, gonna go find a land, and that also creates a 1/1 incubator token.
All right, what do you think he's gonna
Alright.
do? T-Rex, Sunfall, or Atali? Oh,
We'll see. Archangel on 4.
Flip his wings.
Yep, it's been it was unkicked, unfortunately, just by virtue of
No
The mana
Shocky,
situation.
Shocky, 2 mana.
Mountain into Atali, let's go.
The coin's going down.
We're spinning the wheel, whoosh,
got
and that was
He's got, no,
a phenomenal hit.
He had to play the shark, and then it didn't matter.
No, actually, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, exactly, because the shark wouldn't have been on the battlefield when you played, when you cast the Kami War, unfortunately. Yeah,
Technicalities and
I know, right?
rules.
I know what you're saying, though. That would have been sweet if you
Yeah.
could have gotten the incubator off the Kami War. Oh, it would have been gross. All right.
Nice. What do we got
But just
here?
like that, I mean, we were staring down the barrel of 2 Seed Sharks on Numbskull's side of the board, and Carlo with a couple of just fantastic hits,
Wiggling
able to-
around Rexy.
oh yeah, was able to turn around perfectly.
Nate hate for it's not bad.
All right, yeah, I mean,
good.
yeah, the 8.
Can't target it. He doesn't want to bounce.
Doing some mana math here. All right, if I remove that, do I also get to do all of the crazy nonsense I want to do this turn?
How much?
It's a very
ward-
real question.
How much ward does the ancient have?
I should know this off the top. Ward 2. So yeah, not much. I mean, he can afford it.
Oh man.
I think the question is, can he do that and T-Rex? And
He
I
was
think
the
the answer to that
right
is, I think the answer to that is no, if my math serves, which it rarely does, for the record.
I'll allow
Um,
it. Swing and
All right.
he's going face. He's going face with a lot here.
Yeah.
And the rest does he get Ixalan or the Zendikar lane?
So yep, 3 exactly going to Zendikar. The rest going face.
Not flipping a Tally, clearing the pathway.
Yep.
Incoming Skyclave. Sunfall,
Yep.
you wouldn't.
The awakened Skyclave in the mix.
What is Sunfall? What a maniac! He's gonna wrap the board.
Yeah, that would be insane.
He
Well,
would.
we've all seen the Meat Hook Massacre like wins, where where like they wipe their own
Wait.
board, but the pings kill you. Like we've all seen that. Sunfall does nothing of the sort.
I think he can tap everything. Sunfall and Rexy. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. That'd be cute. And then clear the path for Rexy. Style points.
Right. Well, actually, even so, at this point, playing out T-Rex here,
It just
Could-
bounces off.
well, they bounce off, but the rest get through effectively. So Numbskull would gain 3 life off the block from Archangel, but that's 2 7/7 tramplers. But
Uh-oh.
man,
The coin's flipping.
it's happening.
Oh, no.
Atali, Primal Sickness.
It's one higher than the it's
Yep.
indestructible.
But yeah, we got a double block. Atali is indestructible. That is relevant here. So the Ancient Imperiosaur is going to get devoured. Numbskull is going to gain 3 life and take no poison, which is huge.
Ren
But if Numbskull can't find an answer to that Atali, like immediately,
bounce, yeah, something.
That's
He's got his ley lines in sideboard though. Mm-hmm. Even then.
well, and the other thing too, that T-Rex coming down.
Explosive singularity. Oh, Uprising.
Fancy Uprising.
It
Cool.
hits? No, it's already 13, so it doesn't hit. After it goes after, I think. Create a 1/1, and then it goes after. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so no,
does
it's not going
not
to be able
hit.
to work unless one of
Unless
these.
he blocks.
Yeah, unless one of these 1/1s dies.
Oh,
Okagachi could block this thing and just completely eat it.
Carlos sees it.
Yeah.
No, he's blocking.
Yep, Okagachi made manifest. Numbskull's doing this just to gain some. Oh no, this yeah. So now
it's a center.
that triggers, and so the Okagachi presumably is gonna die here. So sure. All right.
Numbskull's got 2 poison counters left. Oh, this
But-
is never mind.
Exactly. So, but now we have 11 trampling toxic or trampling infect, and then we have the
A record amount of
toxic
poison.
4. Yeah, negative 15 life. Oh, actually, it's funny. There's only the 4 poison that went through on toxic because
Yeah.
Atali's isn't true infect. It's actually a trigger. So, yeah. But there was also an 11 more poison. That would have been 15 poison. Negative 15 health, 15 poison. That is a silly board state. Holy cow.
Oh, he's looking.
Yep.
What the heck would you board?
Yeah.
I just roll it back and probably tear Thunder.
All right.
We're on
So let's see. And we're going to go ahead and watch game 3 from Numbskull's perspective. All
I think
right.
Numbskull's gonna be boarding in the ley lines.
I think there's a very good chance of that. Yeah. I would be shocked if that does not
Well, I
happen.
mean, Numbskull doesn't have that many basic land types.
Yeah.
And those would have been like 6 drops. I love Numbskull so much.
Yeah.
Alright, Numbskull. This is it. This is like the decisive bout. If Numbskull
Indeed.
finds the Magoo strength, the
If it's
Garfield
there.
force,
Exactly. It is possible. It can be done.
the strength of
This is not out of
Garfield,
reach.
as Numbskull would say.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to just go ahead and switch on over. Let's go watch.
I need
From
that.
Numbskull's perspective here in game
underdog
2,
guy.
Carlo up a game. And like we were saying, if Carlo wins this thing, that's that. We have our champion. All right. Here we are.
Numbskull debating to play first or not. Ooh, there's a sight.
You know, you got to think these things through. Like, hey, you know what? That extra card, it might be the difference. All right.
Numbskull's antics, it saves his butt so many times in other matches.
In this, it's true, actually. That Asinine Antics on 6,
That's
where the
so
opponent
cool.
doesn't see it coming. And could you imagine if that Asinine Antics had been there that last game?
It'd be a
all of a
1-1
sudden-
Atali.
All of a sudden, that Atali's a 1/1. It's like, yeah, it's still an infecting, indestructible thing, but I can jump. Like, I can just
Just flick
put
it.
stuff in front of it all day. Yeah. But now here we go. So turn 3. Here's the question: do we go Segovia? Do we go Forge?
Oh yeah. I go Forge.
I'm leaning Forge too because the Forge token can help attack Segovia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be bigger.
That.
Yep. So I know you and I are on the same page, but Numbskull really likes that invasion and wants to lead with it. I respect it. I do.
It's been done so much work for him. Also, he could do 3 against it next turn. He couldn't. Yeah. He did 2.
Yeah, the Kraken's being able to attack here is very relevant. They wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So, yeah. Honestly, in the end, I think
Numbskull getting into that mana though for the Convoke is super huge for the Path to Peril.
Hey, like us with the gift sub. Thank you. All right, Forge is live. Let's go.
3
This is 3
down.
damage on that invasion.
3 down, 1 dream.
Indeed. But honestly, having the invasion of Segovia and Urbrecht's Forge live, that feels great. I gotta say, because at this point, Carlo might have. Although to be fair, the ley line binding, being able to hit any non-land permanent is silly, if I'm honest.
That's a
Oh,
Forge
no!
ruiner. That's a day
Tranquil
ruiner.
Frillback, man. That is a card that I did not respect at all when it first dropped. I did not think that was going to be anything, and I've seen it so much as of late.
So,
yeah.
Numbskull swings out, and Carlo blocks. Numbskull then has the Saga
Kitus,
unleash, and now he's able.
So yeah, here's the Sea Tyrant of Segovia.
I go.
And it was a
Shark
creature,
Shark.
so it wouldn't have triggered the Chrome Host. But now Chrome Host Sea-Shark's live.
Oh,
Kraken's
boy.
untapped. Giving that untap ability on Kitus is fantastic. Like, being able to freely attack or freely convoke during your turn.
Binding hits.
But what's it going after?
Oof.
All right, going after Kitus. That makes sense. Honestly, there was no wrong answer. Kitus or the Sea Shark. Oh, then Edict.
Oh, what a bugger!
Oh, Carlo, you nasty. All right, and here's Toberry Stomper. This is going to get the 7th land.
Turn
So
it
now
on.
both Stompers are online.
Stomping
7
time.
damage crashing in. Oof. That poor Kraken.
Oh man, that Peril looks so good. If it was
so
able-
close.
No green,
So
no white
close.
source, regardless.
Yeah, so that Sunset Revelry is also off the table. Yeah, here we have Asinine Antics. Let's just shrink this whole board down.
Shrink ray activate.
This is what you gotta do. You know?
Rexy territory. I just feel it.
Oh no.
Smells
There's a
like
non-zero chance that's coming.
Smells like Rex in here.
All right. Gross. All right. And sure enough, it wasn't Rex directly, but that was a fetch quest into Rex. Yep, that'll do it. Oh my goodness.
We might have a champion.
We may have our champion. Explosive Singularity,
Oh
such
my
a fun
God.
card. Absolutely
Numbskull is
beautiful.
in there. He's gonna take a beating of a lifetime.
Oh my goodness. And Kami War, just the icing on the cake here. Oh my goodness. And Carlo with the signature card, Tyrannex Rex
We have
brings
your
it down.
champion.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Oh,
man, that was explosive.
that was
Singularity.
explosive is the word. Holy cow. T-Rex just bringing it home consistently, I gotta say.
Oh my monkey, dude.
Wow. So first things first, let's have a chat with Numbskull.
Oh,
See how
yeah.
he's doing. Hey, bud. That was
Numbskull,
a hell of a match, dude.
Can you hear us? Give us
Hey, guys.
Hello.
That didn't feel good.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How many fingers am I holding up, Numbskull?
0?
Thumbs. You
Oh,
see
there we go.
right.
Yeah,
I
actually,
see
yeah, it
thumbs.
kind of was. Yeah.
You
Anyway.
nailed it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, dude, great match. Yeah, the ramp. Holy cow! I think ramp is pretty good in standard right now.
Yeah. I think I might have neglected to put the ramp in because I was just being silly. So that's that's probably where I screwed up.
I still love it, dude.
Oh, it's all good. That was awesome, man. Yeah,
I love
gotta
this
say,
shit.
you've been putting on a fantastic
Season.
show this whole season. It's been awesome. And if you do, folks at home, if you want to see Numbskull or Mojo come back for one last kind of an exhibition round, if you will, against Astralsflame to see how the final point standings come out, we will be doing a redemption vote in the chat. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We will be sending that up in just a moment. So yes, if you want to see Numbskull come back and really show off what that deck can do against Astrals, Yeah, that'll be an option here in just a sec. But yeah, Numbskull,
For
thanks,
sure.
man.
No,
Appreciate
Thank you
man.
guys.
Dude,
Well
thank
done.
you for a wonderful season, family. So
Thank you
far,
guys. I appreciate it.
cheers, family. And now,
Cheers.
the moment before. Should we get the vote up first, and then we'll talk to Carlo here? Or,
Nah, we gotta talk with our champ, man.
You know what? We can't stretch the season out any longer.
How's it going, man? Thank you so much. Well done, dude. Well done. T-Rex brings it home, man.
Listen,
Champion.
That Bramble familiar to hit that T-Rex there was great.
That's all you needed. Yep.
Yeah,
It smelled like Rex. I knew it.
yeah. I was
yeah.
worried there that second game that I wasn't gonna get like the correct color combination. I think I only had 3. I think I had Naya available to me, and I was like, I got to stomp her. I got to hope my stuff doesn't get interrupted in between, and we got to be able to ramp.
Dude,
but yeah,
had Path to Peril, bro. So if you didn't remove...
he had Path to Peril.
He had Path in his hand, yep.
With the antics. But you swept his leg. Miyagi teaches, if you can't stand, you can't fight. You don't have mana, you can't fight. And you remove the convoke.
That first game was scary too. I think I only had 2 lands, but I had 3. I had 3 2-mana rampers. So I'm like, I gotta try to get there.
The shuffle.
That was wild to see too, because it's like you missed your land drops on turn 3 and 4, and you untapped on turn 5 with 6 mana available. It's like, wait a minute, like this math does not add up.
Magic.
But when you put in like 12 pieces of 2-mana ramp into your deck, you're gonna find some of them, right?
Congratulations, Hammer.
Yeah, well done, man.
And I crown you season champion.
You did it. Oh yeah.
Fight Club 3.
4.5 points. Holy cow, dude.
Yeah,
out of a possible 5 points, you got 4.5. This was
4.5 stars.
dang.
Yeah, these have been some great matches.
Excellent.
I love the spirit behind Fight Club. We definitely started out this season by building the initial deck with our community over on my stream. And so we had built Mono Green from the ground up, like I said, turned it into Gruul, started testing different versions to see how we eventually ended up this week. And it's been a blast. I was the new kid on the block this season. I think I'm glad that we were able to play Tyrannix Rex in each and every deck that we played every week. Yep. Out of all of Fight Club, I even had a deck that got me qualified for that qualifier that was today. Because we played that exact 75. And so
I heard about that. Dude.
Tomorrow is the Jankathon. And I will be running the Jun deck from Fight Club in that tournament. So it's gonna be exciting.
All the way.
That is amazing. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Qualified with a Fight Club deck.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's brilliant.
10 out of 10. No notes. Wow. Well done, man. And thank you for keeping the spirit of Fight Club alive. And I love the fact that you're like even going like taking into other avenues. Because honestly, these decks, the goal is to come up with a fun brew that the people will enjoy watching.
That's my
favorite
part.
There's so much depth in Standard right now.
Yep.
That even when you're coming up with fun brews, sometimes you can hit a vein of some pretty sick stuff.
Yeah.
And it was well done, man.
Jank Master.
Awesome. And big thank you. Thank you, Pat, for all the cheers and everything. Much appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Huge thank you to everybody in chat. Love it. All right. Well, Carlo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Back to the locker. A monkey's back there. Having a big party for
all
you.
right. Absolutely. Pop the champagne and all that jazz. Yeah. Good stuff.
Wait, what do you mean? You lost Astrals.
What?
Monkey lost Astrals.
We lost Astrals? We don't.
No, he's all right. Hang on. They got, Pirates.
What? So if you're not familiar, we're broadcasting from a leaky boat in the middle of international waters because as you can imagine, the just violence and debauchery that's involved in Fight Club it has a sticky legal situation, right? So we don't want to get into it, and so we prefer to be just away from all the things. So wait, Astral's on his way here.
We got Chimpanzee. He's our security guard. Also,
Pirates?
Yeah, pirates. Well, how many?
Really? Are they gonna at least like let him call in or something so that we can like?
One pirate, but he's really big. He says.
Oh well, I mean that'll do it.
Call.
Although I got to meet Astros in Vegas. He's actually not a small dude, so I'm sure they put up a fight. But anyway, whatever the case may be. Okay, got it.
Hang on, get on the banana phone, wherever you can find around there.
Okay.
Can we reach him?
Can we reach him? No, I don't think we're gonna be able to. It sounds like we actually will not be able to get in touch with the Astros for the battle.
Basement.
Yeah, so and apparently the guard is not super happy with chatter of any kind. But apparently he still has his phone. Actually, I'm seeing messages that he does have some signal. Miraculously, I don't know who his carrier is, but holy cow, I gotta say they're doing a fantastic job. So he will actually be able to participate and play the match.
The pirates got Wi-Fi. It's cool.
Yeah. Oh, they got Wi-Fi installed on their boat. Man, that's clever. We need to get Wi-Fi on this boat.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I don't know how we're managing to do this upload without Wi-Fi, but
in any event, connection to a rotary phone.
But yeah, so unfortunately we won't be able to do the pre-fight interview with Astros, but we will be able to get him in the game.
All right.
But first things first, chat. We need your feedback. We need your votes. We need your opinions here. We have two fighters who are eligible for a redemption match against Astros. Now, at this point in the standings, our champion's been crowned.
Oh, yeah.
It's Carlo.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mojo here is in the 1 spot, and we've got in Numbskull as well in the 3 spot. So, the question is, can Numbskull end the season as the undisputed, second place point, standings, or can Mojo match Astros there at the 1.5 mark? That's the question. And ultimately, it comes down to which deck do you want to see again? Do we want to see Mojo's build, or do we want to see Numbskull's Convoke action again? That's the question. Yeah. So we want to do Lear Adventures or Convoke shenanigans.
In the words of the great Hammer, if you have feelings, thoughts, expressions, or anything, any kind of input whatsoever in your life, this is the last time to do it, guys. Okay?
This is
Get
it.
Up there, and we'll find out.
Boom.
This is just for carnage. This is simply for carnage. It's
yep.
Like, remember that scene on Jurassic Park when they're about to feed the raptors? And it lowers somebody into the astral cage flame.
Right. And this is going to look a little silly, everybody, but I'm going to do it. Check this out. So I'm going to go ahead and...
We're on a limb?
Yep. I'm going to try to configure this so we can actually see the poll results. Ha-ha!
He's adapting.
Whoop. I know, right? Look at that! Life finds a way.
Dude.
All right. Broadcasters find a way.
With all this high-tech equipment, you'd think we'd get Wi-Fi.
I know, right?
You'd think we'd figure this out by now. And we don't got Wi-Fi.
No, of course not.
Don't jump ship. He's trying to jump. He's going to jump.
All right, so there we go. So we've got the results. They're coming in, everybody. We are going to find out who is going to be. Oh, no. You know what? Here, let me even extend it just a little bit so we can see the timer. Yeah. All right. So the purple bar there is the timer as well as the current results. If you want to have your voice heard, get in there right now. This is a poll that is running live on Twitch. Get in here. Who do you want to see come back for the redemption fight? Looks like Mojo is clearly ahead right now with 8 votes to Numbskull's 2. All right, but honestly, I gotta say, no matter what, I've seen the deck that Astros is bringing to the party. This match is gonna be silly. This is gonna get fun, no matter what.
No, Numbskull, give me the power of Garfield if I'm going in.
Oh, the Numbskull fan club has entered the chat, everybody.
Yeah. Oh. Numbskull fan club.
And we've got some votes. Let's go. I absolutely love this. Oh my goodness. And thank you. I know what you're thinking. Everybody out here who is also a streamer or has ever tinkered with an OBS knows exactly how I did this. It's not hard. And you're wondering, why did it take you 3 seasons and 5 weeks of this season to come up with this? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Time that we talk to you guys, chat, and no matter what happens during this fight, what happened in the beginning of Fight Club, I wouldn't change this for a stinking moment in the world, boys and girls. This is not for a world, and you guys really mean the world for us. And to do this for the 3rd season in a row, to touch and reach so many people, like the adventure that we have, like us Fight Clubbers, has been ecstatic. And Hammer,
dude,
before we get into this fight, do you have anything to say to chat and the rest of us? You specifically, because we have not asked you yet.
I suppose. I get to talk all the time, so I don't think to, go straight to the camera.
This is for you though. This is like
I gotta say, I mean, this when Mojo first came to me and was like, "Hey, I got this idea," and he laid it out. I remember thinking, "Yeah, that would be fun, but there's no way in the world we could get 4 other people to commit
3 times in a row,
5 weeks in a row. Are you insane? There's no way we can make this work." But then we did it.
Yeah, 3
and
times.
we had some challenges along the way, and we learned a lot. But it's been amazing. This has been so much fun.
I got something to say. Thank you for believing in Fight Club and keeping.
Thank you, man.
Spirit, man. It's been amazing, dude.
No, this has been an absolute joy. I adore the show.
For, Fight Club season 4, hopefully.
Absolutely, we're definitely going to be chatting about it. We'll make it happen.
There's no spoiler alerts, but there might be.
But I do want to say, if there are any content creators out there who you think would be a good fit for this, reach out to us. Let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah, Mojo and I are also both streamers. I know, we're on various social media applications. You can find us. Reach out and say, hey, or hit us up on Discord or whatever the case may be. And just say, hey, by the way, have you seen so and so? I think they do good at Fight Club. Anyway.
All right, the results are in.
The results are in. So Mojo,
yes,
here we are, the last episode of this season, and the people want to see you step back into the ring. Well, how do you feel?
I first of all, I'm versus the Flame, and Mojo knows that. I'm versus the Flame. Even if he's abducted by pirates, he's still a threat.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, but even if he is in shackles, dirty and malnourished, he's still a threat. He can still.
A little hot.
You can't underestimate the Flame. Absolutely. So yeah. So this will be interesting. So
are we able to talk with him? Can we get through to him? Or
I don't think we actually can't. It doesn't sound like we're gonna be able to actually get some vocals. That said, though, I do have his deck.
We're gonna open the deck.
We're gonna open up the deck, and I'm gonna kind of walk through it a little bit. And I gotta say, this deck looks lovely, and it also looks very appropriate coming from our buddy Astrals. Because today, so this is the 5-color challenge.
Yes.
And Astrals, of course, in proper Astrals fashion, found a way to satisfy the rules, yet still play Jund. So here we are. All right. So this deck is
form.
This is a setup that folks may be familiar with. We have Tyvar, Jubilant Brawler, and a whole crap ton of creatures. And those creatures are kind of the capstones, like the central build-arounds, are Urborg Lurgoyf, Old Stick Fingers, and Cruel Somnophage.
I love him for this. He piggybacked mine, dude. I piggybacked
100%. It's that. Yep. This is one that you've probably seen people brewing around it. I know I've tinkered with it. I know Astrals has been working on it. Mojo, I know you've done this too. Yeah, exactly.
Fight Club. Yeah, this is awesome.
Similar setup, exactly. That self-mill strat, and so it's that self-mill strategy using things like Cal's Sellsword and Valdaran Thrillseeker to get the thud action and close the game. And you may be wondering, but wait, what about blue and what about white? Well, in the main deck we have Cruel Somnophage, which has the blue adventure in Can't Wake Up. There's also additional blue spells in the sideboard, and in the main deck we have 3 of Extraction Specialist as our white card. And I gotta say, this fits this deck like a glove.
Oh no!
It's a 3/2 lifelinker that when it enters, you can return a creature with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. And as you see, that's the majority of the deck.
Is that Thrill Seeker? I can't really say. It's 3 Thrill Seekers. I was unable to use that.
Yep.
Oh my god! I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Thrill Seeker's pretty good. Yep.
All right.
So here we go.
This is the ultimate irony. I stole his honor, so he takes my Goyf thud. That's it. Done.
There it is. Exactly.
Let me add him. I don't care.
Oh, you need some revenge on this?
Decrepit Shekel or not, it's going down.
All right, understood. We will get into some gameplay here.
He's gonna steal my honor.
It's happening.
All right, get the champion in here, I guess, right?
All right. Yeah. So if Carlo's available for a reprise on the guest commentator position, that would be fantastic.
We're fighting for last place, Astrals. You're going down.
All right, so here we go. Let's go on in. So yeah, Mojo, get back into the locker room. Carlo, we got you back on the screen. How you doing, my friend?
I'm back.
And again, congratulations. Yeah. I wish we had a massive budget so we could ship every champion, like the biggest, like gaudiest belt you've ever seen. Like I would love to get that for you. I would.
That's right.
Unfortunately, money is like a finite resource. I understand.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who agreed to that. Like anyway, what's up? Anyway, sorry. So here we are. How are you feeling about these two decks? Do you have any thoughts going into this?
So we've got to see Mojoe's deck, so we know what Mojoe's doing. I want to see Astrals reanimate like a huge Lurgoyf with the extraction specialist, and see if we can steal a game that way.
Well, I'm right there with you. I want to see that too. I also love the idea, like Flavor Flea, the extraction specialist, is like in the artwork. It's clearly like kind of an undercover operative kind of situation, like carrying like a little girl. Right? And so the idea of like, oh, saving someone who is small from this situation, mana value 2 or less. Okay, Flavor Relief makes sense. I love the idea of the secret operative, like trying to smuggle, a gigantic like 1920 Lurgoyf away from danger.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's the most ridiculous image, and I love it. I love it so much. All right.
All right,
here we are.
This hand, it looks like we're gonna start off with Mojoe trying to go for like the ramp strat a little bit.
Looks like it.
Familiar?
Yeah, so the Edgewell Innkeeper on green definitely telegraphs that we're looking at the Bramble Familiar on 2 is the plan, because the Underground River is going to allow for that.
Yep.
Notably, though, that doesn't have the Otter entering the battlefield until turn 3 at the earliest, so we'll see how that lines up. And Astrals leading off the Gnawing Vermin. That's about the best turn 1 you could ask for in the current standard.
Yeah.
It's not quite Stitch or Supplier, but we work with what we got.
All right, milled Vermin and a land. So this lines us up for that turn 2 Bramble Familiar play.
Yep. And Mojoe set it up, so he's going to follow through with it. Makes sense. So now green is covered, blue is covered, and there's also one black. That Xander's Lounge is also presumably coming down. So unfortunately, the Virtue of Loyalty is kind of stranded in Mojoe's hand. Mm-hmm. And you'll note, because of the Gnawing Vermin's death trigger, that block would have been lethal for the Bramble Familiar, so Mojoe's not having that.
Outright running the Dread Knight into play.
Moss with Dread Knight.
No, we can't do that, Mojoe. You can bounce the Dread Knight.
Which, honestly, is not bad. Given that the Dread Knight can recur from the graveyard.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Coming in with the Bramble Elemental, doing some damage here.
Heck yes.
But now, this next turn, Mojoe has the capability to cast Virtue of Courage. Maybe play a little Pump from the Otter side on the Familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's the white for the white
source.
Virtue. So we can kill this thing. We can play the Gonjo out. So we can flash in this Virtue. Heck, we can even play the Otter and still hold up the Virtue too if Mojoe
That's
really
true.
wants.
Yeah, so taking some damage off this Pain Land, which is a little unfortunate, but I think it's worth it. Yeah.
And also notably, this gives Mojoe access to 5 mana. Can neither cast the red or white Virtue, though, until we get some better mana, but can play like the Scalding Viper.
Yeah? Yeah, playing out the Viper here could definitely be relevant. Yeah, down Thrill Seeker, that is a big Gnawing Vermin. Now, fortunately for Mojoe, Astrals does not have the mana to fling that Vermin right now, because that could have been devastating.
There we go, land off the top.
And here comes the Viper, sure enough.
The Viper, which is interesting. Might have thought that trying to get rid of the Thrill Seeker might be in the cards, or at least hold up that shock.
Right.
But I guess Mojoe just wants to get down as many creatures as possible. And now Astrals, every time they cast one of these cheap cards that they're playing, they're going to take some pings.
Ooh, Astral's choosing not to attack here. That 3/3 was in a position where it theoretically could have. But instead, Astral's just going to keep mana open. So the Thrill Seeker is now online. We'll see what happens here. So yeah, the Pollen Shield Hair. Card's pretty decent. Mojoe is debating on what to do with that.
Do you play this on the green side and then cast the red Virtue, maybe? That would turn that Otter into a 3/3 unless they pump the Otter with the Pollen Shield Hair.
Right. Well, going for the 2 damage face here, yeah, that buffs the Otter, so all right. And now casting out the Pollen Shield here is going to give Mojo an opportunity to buff the Otter even further.
No,
And unfortunately, it is a sorcery.
Here.
Astral's identifying the line.
Yeah.
Cuts off the utility on that.
Here comes the Sea Shield Hair pumping that thing.
Okay.
Cast the Shield Hair, which also pumps the Knight token there.
Perfect. This is actually a really sweet setup. Because now, no matter how Astrals blocks, this is the only way that Astrals is going to get anything off that Gnawing Vermin. But that buff was only temporary anyway. So, okay. That seems like a pretty good trade. All right. So Astrals is looking for something. Notably, does not have very much in the yard right now. Only has 5 cards in the graveyard presently, which is, those Goyf decks definitely want more than that. Well, and here comes more than that. Old Stick Fingers for X equals 3. That's a casual 7/7.
Oh, yeah.
Chancellor of Tales after all of the adventures have been used up.
I think you start going for the virtues, no? We can't play loyalty because we don't have double white. So maybe we just have to wait until we hit that so we can keep pumping the creatures that are on the battlefield.
Right, and the virtue of persistence, honestly, I'm pulling it up right now because it's one of those that I have to. I never remember how it reads because I feel like it does one thing and it most certainly does not. So it's an enchantment for 3 red. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile them many cards to the top of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Right, so it is card advantage. Pollen Shield Hair dying here is going to shrink the Knight, which is a little unfortunate. But yeah, so the Virtue of Courage, it could be decent, but the reality is this deck only has a handful of ways to deal non-combat damage. The majority of the damage the deck wants to deal is definitely combat.
Are we flinging the Stick Fingers?
Do we have a... Yep, Stick Fingers. This is 9 damage directly to Mojo's face. So... And that's not a white source, unfortunately.
No, I think so, cycle.
Gotta cycle it. Yep.
Auto Tapper got us. We get to play that on the flyer.
Yeah. And because of the flyer, you get to do it twice.
Oh,
so this
man.
will be...
So 3/6.
Yep.
It's going to be an 8-power flyer.
That seems pretty good.
No new targets. Same target.
Yep. Yeah, load it all up.
That's a big fairy.
It sure is.
Coming for 8, and all we got...
Might as well send the Vigilant.
Everybody?
As well. Oh, Bramblefam is in the mix as well. Okay. Thrillseeker blocking the Bramble Familiar.
Does Astrals have removal? No. At 3?
Now, it's funny. So at this point, Mojo has the board dominance if Astrals has a way to get a Goyf out and a Fling. So like this old Stick Fingers, if there's a Callous Sellsword or a Thrillseeker in hand, Astrals has it.
Does Astrals have the Fling?
2 cards left. There it is.
Oh, there it is, Mojo.
Oh, Mojo clawing back, establishing a beautiful board state, representing lethal the following turn, and Astrals just takes a crazy, bizarre woodland horror, and just throws it directly in Mojo's face.
Man, and so Mojo has no sideboard here, but Astrals does. So I guess we'll see what Astrals is going to board in against Mojo's adventures.
Indeed. Now, unfortunately, it looks like as part of the apparently the Pirates are not really fans of streaming onto Discord, so we are not going to be able to watch Astrals with the sideboards. It'll be very interesting to see what comes in, though. Because, this could definitely...
The Pirates do be thieving.
Oh, yeah, they sure do
I heard that Breaches is about to send them on a trip down to the Lost Caverns of Ixalan.
That is true. And the other thing about Breaches specifically is you look at it and it triggers whenever pirates attack. And so you just know that means we have a lot more pirates coming in Ixalan. Like, they have to be, right? Like, that's got to be at least a draft archetype.
Are they all goblin pirates? Are they merfolk pirates? Are they vampire pirates?
You know, that's a great question. Merfolk pirates would be sick, actually. That would be a really cool twist. I like that. I don't know. We'll see. I do hope that we get at least one monkey pirate. Not like Nimble Pilfer the card, but I would like it if Ragavan the character is depicted because he's just fun. And they can travel through Omen Pass now. Why not, right? Let's get him in there. Anyway.
Ragavan and Standard? No, we can't.
Not Nimble Pilfer. It would have to be.
We can't do that. We can't do that.
No, I was thinking the character being printed on a different card that is not as egregious. Yeah, make it a 2/1 with a lesser ability and have it cost 2, or something. Right? Anyway. But he would have to be a 2/1 monkey pirate. That's been consistent. Every depiction of Ragavan is a 2/1 monkey pirate. Yeah, I love the idea of an Avalanche Ally of Thieves. That's a great name. I like that. Yeah, I'm into it. Anyway, I think that'd be funny. I just want a monkey pirate. That's it. And the goblins in Ixalan have kind of a monkey vibe to them. So we almost, Breaches is almost that, just not quite.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Mojoe leading off with the Edgewall in, establishing that blue, because there's no other blue source in hand, so you just gotta make it happen.
Oh,
and there's Xander's Lounge, that's welcome.
Ivar Seachrome Coast.
Ooh, Tyvar on a land, that is a terrible mill for Astrals. You definitely, with this deck, you want the Gnawing Vermin to drop and then flip 2 creatures. That is just what you want to see every single time. So to get 0 creatures and to lose the Tyvar that you otherwise would have drawn, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah.
You see Dread Knight draw on the card. Looks like Mojoe is going to maybe play... You'd have to play the Ganjo untapped if you want to play that Virtue.
Xander's Launch produces blue. So second blue isn't necessary. Well, there are 2 white sources in hand, though.
Oh, need second blue for the Lear.
I understand that, but that's the third blue. Yeah, we've now had that's the 3rd blue source. If I was in Mojoe's position there, I probably would have played Restless Fortress there to get a white source established, and it's a tap land that, you might as well just bite the bullet and get it online. All right, here comes that Mojoe.
We're playing the Chancellor. That way we can try to get double Virtue next turn, double Pollen Shield Hair if we top that the green source.
Yeah, that could be pretty silly. Yeah, well, if there's an untapped green source off the top, strap in, everybody. This is going to be sick. All right. Cruel Somnophage.
1/1.
Yep. Notably not going for the adventure, just casting it out.
We're good. We're in good shape. We get 2/2/2s.
Gonna be able to get 2/2/2s. You're right. Yeah, off the 1 cast, which is quite good.
Thrill Seeker. Okay, so that means no negate coming from Astrals.
Yep.
That's good.
All right, the Gnawing Vermin, and Astrals does have the mana open. So here comes the double Virtue. Definitely copying that all day, every day.
So 1 mana open. Do we double block the Somnophage just in case? I think so.
That's not a bad idea, yeah. Yeah, the Thrill Seeker can pop, or the Gnawing Vermin could also crack. Yeah, here we go. And so this puts
up the tails.
Yep, this is going to encourage kind of a tough block situation. Holy cow.
Man.
And the Somnophage sees both graveyards. That is very important.
I think this is a turn you go for Lear and hope that Astrals can't disrupt it.
Yep. Wow. That was amazing. Phenomenal play by both players to, because Mojoe establishing those instant speed knights put Astrals in an uncomfortable position, and Astrals responded very well with some quick maths to make that possible. Destroy Evil on Lear, that's a phenomenal answer.
Bramble Familiar, but no green.
No green. Yes, game. I would like to.
Lear number 2. Let's go, Mojoe.
I mean, right? What are the chances? What are the chances that Astrals has another Destroy Evil coming in on the sideboard? Honestly, what are the odds?
Unless we're gonna go for the Virtue that's next exiled, but I don't know that makes sense.
You definitely don't want to bounce the Thrill Seeker. That seems like a really bad idea.
I don't know, Mojoe. If I'm Mojoe, I think so. Mojoe saw that Astrals has negates in the sideboard, so I would just go for the Lear here.
Right. Yeah, cut off the counter spells. Well, and here comes the the Virtue of Loyalty. It does resolve after a pause. Although, to be fair, the Voldaren Thrill Seeker will result in holding priority because Astrals could have activated it. so the game will stop for that. So it's not necessarily indicative that Astrals has anything in hand. All right.
Talking about milled lands.
And notably, Astrals doesn't have any green sources down.
Somnophage is back.
Which is why that Dread Knight has been chilling in exile this whole time.
Another blue source.
Another blue source. Dang it.
Well,
That is,
we
that's
can
the
go
thing.
for... I still think I go for Lear here. It will turn it into a 4/5 off the Virtue. Or, you know, Mojo could play the other Virtue in hand to have a 3/3 Vigilance and, like, hold the Scalding Viper back.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea, per se. But yeah, now a 4/5 Lear, unless Astros has an answer, this could establish some pretty nasty dominance. And additionally, here comes Cruel Somnophage, Milling. There was one green source in those 4 cards.
Yeah.
And then Tyvar, yeah.
Somnophage is back as an 8/8 now, though.
Yep. That's an 8/8 Somnophage. Xander's Lounge, can't help but notice that still doesn't make green. Yep. Or white, which also would be somewhat useful here.
All right, we're going aggro with this leader here.
Hey, you got the virtual loyalty. There's no reason not to beat down.
No, watch.
Right.
Oh, the auto tapper. I was like, oh, Jesus, it's going to tap his only white source. The auto tapper has been messing with my mind lately.
Yeah.
That's
I
for
get
sure.
that. I think we've all been there. All right, so this is all happening just right here. Even before attacks. Mojo could have attacked first, but Astral's only having 1 mana open. Although, playing out the Viper in a scenario where
block and ping it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Playing the Viper before combat was suboptimal there. Because that gave Astrals an opportunity to get maximum value off of that one creature.
Now Mojo can cast it from the yard.
That is true. Yeah, so now all of a sudden Lear has an opportunity to do their job.
Yeah.
And get this adventure back. And sure enough, we can't wake up.
Again.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big Somnophage.
It sure is. That's a 13/13. For 2 mana, I think that's a pretty good deal.
Let's go. 2 mana bounce.
2 mana bounce out of the graveyard.
We get the adventure off the elusive otter.
No green.
No.
Oh. But a second Virtue of Loyalty, just jam it. Just go. And that makes sense.
Can Astrals deal 16 point of damage this turn?
If any deck can do it, it's that one. Especially with the Somnophage in hand. And I'm seeing careful tapping. There is actually enough mana where if Astrals has the Callous Sellsword in hand and gets a good mill off that can't wake up, we could see a situation where the Adventure mills some creatures. We got 2 more creatures. So I believe that's going to be... Yeah, it'll be a 14/14 coming down. And so now if there's a burn together, which is the Adventure portion of Cal Sellsword, Astrals can get Mojo out of 2. It's not quite enough. So just going to sit back.
Still no green source.
Still no green source.
You can
Restless Fortress. Okay.
Block Lear. Take 5, 6, 7, 8.
Playing out the Viper.
You just attack. Yeah.
Yeah, just send it.
7. Block the Lear. Take 6, go to 1. And then Astrals cannot cast a small spell because of the Scalding Viper.
Right.
So you can't play another Somnophage.
And that even untapped the Fortress just for good measure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not relevant right now, but cool interaction. I like it. Oh my goodness. We have a raid, Draffinat. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had an amazing stream. Welcome, Raiders. We are here. This is Fight Club, which is a multi-week streamer showcase where we have all kinds of fun, where we get streamers to show off some fun, silly brews. And right now we have Astralsflame going up against Mojo. This is actually the last bout of the season, but if you're interested in seeing what we've done so far, it is available over on the YouTubes. So yeah, hopefully see you over there. But yeah, so thank you so much. We got some more stuff here. Don't worry.
Oh,
Viper
he had
gets
the Callous Sellsword too. All right,
the
go to
Viper
game
ping
3.
delivers the kill shot, and with that we go on to game 3. Oh, you love to see it.
Love it.
Oh my goodness. Fantastic stuff. All right. I know Mojo's so close. So close. All right.
See if
Oh, and it looks like we also got a raid from
Friday.
Fried Nomad as well. Thank you so much, Fried Nomad. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah, thank you all. Thank you so much for the raids.
All right, IO shoutouts.
Welcome in.
Let me get on that. All right. But yeah, so here we are. So this has been Fight Club is always a 5-week event. And this is our 5th week. This is a 5-color showdown. All of our competitors have been tasked with creating 5-color brews. And things are silly. It's delightful. All right. So here we go. We're going into game 3. We got 5-color Lear Adventures going up against 5-color. I'm just gonna say Jund because it's Astrals. Let's be real.
Yeah. Self-milled fling goodness.
Yep, self-mill fling good goifs. It is it's the name of the game. And Mojoe with 3 virtues in hand. I gotta say, if there is a 7-drop that I'm gonna be stuck with, I'd like it to be these. All right.
Let's go. Immediately going for the Lock Thwain scorn.
Yep, and Deathbound Sprout is an example of one of the few cards in Astral's deck that doesn't provide immediate value upon entering and needs to untap in order to get get value throughout the course of the game. So a kill shot there is great. All right.
Vermin coming down. Vermin's milling a goif and a turtle.
Ooh, okay. Here we go.
So, do we go after this vermin, or do we hold the white virtue?
Or do you throw out the Viper's an option. You also have access to the Otter. Establishing that at this point could be good. It looks like Mojo's just going to blast this rat. Just get it gone.
All right, rat's out of here.
Yep. And
One less
I think
target
that
to
makes
flame.
sense. Yeah, I'm not mad at that line. I probably would have held the Virtue of Loyalty back for it, but I can appreciate that Mojoe wants to save creatures for when they can help push the game plan forward. So, fair enough.
Yeah. So we can do Otter.
And these are all standard. This is all best of 3 standard. Palumbo, thank you for that question. And Lethal, I love that idea. Mojoe and I might have to go back to the drawing board on that and see if we can make it happen. Doing a 6th week where it's all colorless.
Oh man.
That could get interesting.
Gingerbrute.deck.
I mean, yeah, it's like, it would just be 5 Sir Ginger piles, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But that is what it would be, right? All right. At least in this current standard.
Could play Graz Ramp.
Ooh.
Make everything juggernauts.
I like that idea. I like that idea very much. All right. So Thrillseeker is going to just come down. That is a very expensive way to remove this Otter, but the Elusive Otter represents a ton of damage that Mojoe could produce. So I can appreciate Astral's going for it. Now, the thing about Astral's deck, it's trying to generate these explosive plays by getting a gigantic Lurgoyf or Somnophage or Stickfingers online and then flinging it ultimately after getting some work done in combat. The problem is right now, Astrals has not been successful in applying any pressure whatsoever this game. And Mojo's at 24 because of the Lock Twain Sworn.
Yeah.
So the size of that turn has to be way bigger than it normally would be at this point.
Yeah, and Mojoe now has that virtue, the white virtue, in exile. And with 3 creatures down, is going to start to pose a clock, a very quick clock.
Absolutely.
Even with this vampire at 3/3. Astrals might need to do some playing to like block and sack and blow up a token here.
Assuming that Mojoe swings. Because it might be in Mojoe's best interest to just sit back right now. Kind of force Astral's hands, Because if there's a block scenario, then Astrals might be able to do some tricky shenanigans. Although, with the way the damage stacks out, it's not quite as good as it could be. But you know what I'm saying. All right.
Cycling. Torres.
I mean, that Tortoise.
We need some big creatures out.
Monster Dread Knight, Scalding Viper. I love this synergy. Oh, Mojoe not hesitating whatsoever. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Then waiting a second, realizing, the 7-drop's probably better.
Let's go.
Yeah. Here we go. Still no good attacks. That 3/2 does stymie things pretty well there, but only for that turn.
Dwayne. Oh, let's start animating the Thrill Seekers. Yes, I'm here for it.
100%. No notes. So here comes the Extraction Specialist. Presumably going to grab one of those Goyfs. We'll see, though. And, yep, sure enough, 5/6 Urborgler Goyf. And the downside here is that 5/6, that big old sack of stats, is not currently live in combat. It can't attack or block right now.
It's going to pump the Viper.
There you go. Oh, and we got a Bramble Familiar just for good measure.
That lets you play the Otter ability for X = 1.
Yep.
If you really want.
X = 1, or it could even be X = 0, and then you could play the Otter out and get the counter. Yeah. Yeah, Mojoe has options here. That's ultimately... And on top of that, Astrals is in a scenario where they have something on the board. It's not nothing.
Now, Astrals does have a second Thrill Seeker in the yard. So, Mojoe could sack the Scalding Viper just to fling it at Astrals and bring back the other Thrill Seeker the next turn and sack, like, the Shield Hair. 5, 6, 7... That would be enough, right? 6 and 7, 6, 7, 13.
But yeah, so Scalding Viper here is gonna get flung.
Mojoe.
Yep. And so this is gonna take out the Goyf. Astros doesn't gain the life, nor does Astros get the ability to draw off that Dread Knight being in his graveyard. And 4 damage off the hair just for good measure.
Man.
Wow.
So now we X = 0.
Yep, just to get the Otter out of the graveyard in case something happens to Lear next turn. That makes sense.
These creatures are mighty big.
Yep. This is looking pretty rough. And again, Mojoe's sitting at 24 life, so even if Astrals find some crazy line to get a fling, the chance of it being big enough, I mean, are basically 0 at this point.
Tortoise is going to reanimate a land. So we got 3 blockers. We also have the Cruel Somnophage at 9. I think we just take that. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, no. That's a win, Mojoe.
That's it.
No, Mojoe, go for the win.
He is. He's doing exactly that. Check this out.
1, 2,
He's putting out the
3,
number
4,
of
5,
creatures
6.
because the Pollen Shield Hair's adventure keys off of the number of creatures you have. So this is going to buff the Pollen Shield Hair to a 13/13 that he can immediately fling because of the Thrill Seeker backup. Wow.
That's a deadly bunny right there.
It sure is. We knew there was going to be some fling action, but Mojoe sent it from their side of the board. Well played.
GG's.
GG's.
Mojoe
oh
did
my
it.
goodness. Mojoe did it. Mojoe pulled it off. And with that, actually tied up the score with Astrals at 1.5 points on the season. So that's just delightful. All right. Well, Carlo,
awesome.
again, thank you so much for joining me in the booth for the guest commentary spot. And again, congratulations on your win. Yeah, good stuff, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Yeah, thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and bring Mojoe back in here. How you doing, bud?
I am... what? Okay, so I use his deck, he used my deck, and then I use his deck against his deck to beat his deck with my deck? What?
Whose deck? What deck? What's happening? Yeah. No, that was wild, man. That was super fun.
Nothing less. Thank you, Astrals. I know you're abducted by pirates, and I wish you the best.
I know. I wish we could get Astrals in on the interview. Unfortunately, those darn pirates.
In the spirit of the flame. Thank you from everything, dude, from the bottom of our hearts. Chat, all you all flame fanatics across the world.
Flame the next doubles on me. Don't worry, we got you. All right.
Double. Yeah,
next
doubles for everybody.
Everybody gets a double.
Guys, we're bringing everybody in except the pirate. Well, I mean, Astrals, I'm
all
sure
right.
Fine.
Actually, you know what? Right now, a lot of our other fighters had to go, so we're not gonna be able to do the full Brady Bunch thing, unfortunately. But you know what? We can bring in.
Carlo.
What up? Yeah, we can bring in Carlo. Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Who else is there?
Our champion, everybody.
Yay!
I'm
Congratulations,
back.
Carlo.
It's almost like you never left. All right.
Dude,
So with that,
4.5 stars out of a possible 5 bananas.
4.5.
Silly.
Delicious. Thank you
Silly.
for everything,
Absolutely
guys.
silly.
Chat.
Yep.
Yeah, so
One
this has
last
been
time.
a great season, y'all. Thank y'all chat, for being here every week and for your votes and your cheering on and watching some of our janky decks do some battle in the Fight Club, in the ring.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think it's probably needless to say that we're probably going to be doing a season 4.
Oh,
right? So we're on the look for.
There have been some discussions. There's
Yeah,
a
so we're
non-zero
on the
chance.
On the look for some other content creators that y'all would want to see involved in Fight Club, right? Because now I have a title to defend.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
You know,
very true.
We might be coming back with some Rex or another pet card for another season. So make sure that if you aren't already following Hamhawks and Mojoe and all of these other awesome content creators on the bottom of your screen there, please click that follow button because you will see us again.
You certainly will.
and Hamhawks. Guys, delightful. I don't want it to end. I really don't. But for one last time, Carlo, if you'd like to tell chat if they accept this invitation to touch gloves.
This invitation to the next season of Fight Club.
Touch gloves, the golden
touch gloves.
Hammer only on
Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Yeah.